This boss guide to the final wing of Aberrus the Shadowed Crucible is brought to you by Lilith, our blessed mother. She loves you and you know you want some. So the third wing of LFR, I haven't tanked either of these two bosses, but I have killed them twice as DPS, and from what I've seen, both are not too challenging. Let's start with the first boss, Magmorax. You jump onto his platform and kill magma worms around the perimeter of the platform before he shows up. At the moment, he's swimming in lava around the platform as one would, because why wouldn't you? Magmorax is a rather pretty three-headed kinda dog, I guess, model. And his fight is sort of reminding me of a simplified and more boring version of Kazara fight. At least, you know, if you don't tank him. He indicates swirlies on the ground that need to be absorbed. It's a very recognizable indicator. You step in them. He marks some players periodically with a bomb and then leaves a lava AoE circle on the ground. So don't drop those in the middle of the raid. And then he does a cone fire breath that you need to get out of. He also periodically knocks the players back once in a while, so not standing close to the edge of the platform is probably a good idea. Other than that, he looks like a pretty straightforward boss to me, especially if you have Deadly Boss Mods add-on installed, which I keep promoting, and I keep saying in every video of my guides for LFR or dungeons and whatnot, that you should have DBM installed regardless of your role in a dungeon or a raid, especially if you're planning to run LFR regularly. So if nothing else, Magmorax once again is a rather awesome model that hopefully at one point in the future maybe will allow the hunters to go back to this old raid then and tame Magmorax. He's awesome. But spoiler alert, both of these bosses, Magmorax and Echo of Neltharion, are quite boring. So now, speaking of Echo of Neltharion, once Magmorax is dead, you will need to get over the chasm of lava to the other side. And then there is an opening in the floor to jump down, and you will suffer a little bit of a fall damage there, so heal up before you do, otherwise you probably will die. So good news first, from what I could see as DPS, Neltharion's shadow is much easier than Razageth was as a final boss of the raid, and I honestly think that he should have been probably a bit more challenging as the final boss of Aberrus the Shadowed Crucible. Maybe it's harder as a tank, so I will leave my judgment there, but from DPS perspective you really just follow the tanks around the room. While the tanks, as I've seen, usually try and keep him close to the outer walls and kind of kite him around the room, around the outer walls, and break through the temporary wall spikes that he will create periodically. So that's probably the only mechanic to look out for. He will lock you in periodically and you just need to break through those walls. And you need to run out of a very clearly telegraphed fire AoE circle that then leaves lava on the ground. So I guess tanks need to be not completely brain dead about positioning him in such a way that not the whole floor ends up being lava before the phase 2 of the fight begins. Phase 2 starts with him summoning empowering faceless adds that there are 3 of them, I think, and they just stand there, and I understand that one of them becomes attackable at one time, or maybe they're all attackable and the tank just takes you to one of them, then to the next one, then to the next one, and you just need to follow your tank around once again. How hard can it be? So you just focus on one tank, focus on another tank, because before the adds are down, Neltharion is not attackable, as I understood it. When the final protective add is killed, phase 3 starts. To you it will look like fire swirlies on the ground to obviously not stand in, some more breakable walls to break and move through if you're locked in, and then he will summon aberrations from shadowy portals. As with any add summons, you need to kill them as quickly as you can if you're DPS, and it's your job to kill things. The only thing of importance here is that he will periodically cast, I think, a spell called Addon Destruction, announced by him saying, "My will is destruction," and DBM add-on, if you have it, will say Big Bang, move to Sundered Reality on the screen, where you will need to move to one of those leftover purple swirlies on the ground, otherwise you're probably dead. And that's it. Yeah, I know. it's kind of disappointing. I'm guessing tanks would need to look for some DBM prompts to taunt off each other or something like that, as you always do, but you might need to figure that out for yourself with the help of Deadly Boss Mods add-on, as I never promised to you a full-blown tanking guide. Have I? Let me know in the comments down below if you liked this last wing of Aberrus the Shadowed Crucible. I personally didn't. I thought it was horribly boring, but then I've been playing Diablo 4 for the last few days, and it's been amazing so far from the gameplay perspective and the story perspective, so I guess I have been a tiny bit spoiled with a better and richer content lately. I hope this little guide helped you regardless. Please like the video if it did, and subscribe for more, as I have at least 2 more pre-scheduled guide videos for World of Warcraft classes coming your way over the next couple of weeks. And yes, I intend to continue playing World of Warcraft, but Diablo Wave currently overtook my time, as it did for a lot of people, and I think it's not too hard to understand. But you still will be supplied with some World of Warcraft content from my channel, so subscribe if you haven't already, and like the video, and I thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.